Hello everybody, this is Isaac Lakhi presenting the Isaac Lakhi My 2 Cents Success Framework. Friends, today we're talking about personal mastery and the power of kindness. Several months after being elected as chairman of the board of trustees of the body corporate at an estate that we lived at, the gardener was having problems with his employer. He was also unhappy because one of the condo owners was giving him a hard time over what appeared to be peripheral issues. As a result of this, his productivity nosedived into a free fall, and this showed in his performance. As he was grossly unhappy, he rationalized emotionally and considered quitting his job. My wife Zinni asked me to intervene, but I told her that my hands were tied because the gardener worked for our contractor and not for the body corporate, so it would have been inappropriate to get involved with the contractor as we couldn't tell him how to run his business. As a retort, Zinni gave me an emotional sermon that what use was I to the world if I couldn't leverage my leadership expertise in mediating matters to achieve an amenable outcome for all. So I relented, and some days later I convened a meeting with the contractor, gardener and a fellow trustee, and in our first statement we made it clear that our objective was to mediate a solution to the impasse and not to tell the contractor how to run his business. We explained to him that the greenskeeper was unhappy because he had been promised a bonus at the end of the financial year, and that was 4 months ago, and that he had still not been paid. He apologized for that and undertook to include the bonus in that month's salary. We continued that his employee was also concerned because he was promised an increase in his salary that he hadn't received. The contractor again apologized for this, and besides increasing his salary, agreed to backdate the increases. Listening attentively to this, the landscaper sighed a huge sigh of relief and immediately dropped his defensive guard. Within 10 minutes, we were done with the meeting. Thereafter, we knocked at the door of the condo owner that was giving the horticulturalist a hard time. She explained to us what the problem was, and the gardener did the same. It became apparent to us that a personality discord existed between them, so after getting to the crux of the matter that was merely a misunderstanding caused by a break in communication, we resolved the matter. Like the previous engagement, we were done in a few minutes. Now, a fortnight later, I got home and was received by a glowing Zinni who beamed a smile that could have illuminated the world. She explained to me that the transplanter received his salary that day, and that was almost 3 times the previous month's salary. Naturally, he was over the moon on that moonless night, given the small fortune that he had bagged. I didn't get what the big deal was, because conflict resolution was a function that we dealt with on a periodic basis at the office, and that issue was a relatively simple thing to resolve. Also, it only took a few minutes. That evening, our dear friends, as I put my head down to sleep, I thought of what had transpired and realized that what was done was inexpensive to me, yet invaluable to our gardener. I resolved then and there that not to trivialize efforts, because what may appear to be small and inconsequential to me could be a behemoth of a boulder removed from the path of another, and that someday it will come back and benefit us in ways that we could never imagine. And boy, how that happened. A few years later, when Zinni and I decided to emigrate, we calculated that the property that we were living in had grown quite handsomely, and that selling it would be a good way of unlocking the funds that we needed to reach our goal. However, as we were in a buyer's market, we were getting in very low offers through our realtor. Then one day out of the blue, we got a call from a prospective buyer who asked to view our condo. He loved the place and put in an immediate offer. His offer was significantly higher than that of everyone else. Naturally, we were over the moon and accepted it. That evening, as we calculated the difference between his offer and the highest previous offer, our hair stood and we got goosebumps as we just worked out that the difference was equal to 10 times our gardener's monthly salary. Proof that service to mankind is service to the CEO of the universe, that no good deed goes unrewarded, and we receive what we sow at the time when we need it most. Our dear friends, it's been an absolute pleasure relating this excerpt from our bestseller Highway to Heaven. If you'd like more information about our audios and our awe-inspiring, award-winning and life-altering Isaac Lakhi My 2 Cents Success Framework workshop, do visit our website at isaac.lakhi.com.